Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving with the topic that is the basics of pandas. You are going to learn the pandas in minutes. Today I will discuss with you what is pandas, why you need it and how you can use it. I am going to show you the most common and the basic methods, fundamentals of the pandas. So it will make your journey so easy. The videos on the data analysis and machine learning projects I have already uploaded. After watching this video, you can continue on that. So this is video. So stay with me till the end of the video if you really want to be expert in pandas. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you have any question, feel free to drop a comment. I'm always happy to help you. And even if you are facing any problem in transitioning your career into the AI and you need a help, how from where you can start, you can watch my videos too. And if you want have any question apart from the it, you can drop a comment. So let's first, I will explain you what is pandas actually. Okay. Definitely, I'm going to go through, we will go through the Python exam, like the practically too. But first, let's understand at a beginner level, what is pandas? Why you need it? Might be you when you are transitioning into AI, right? And you want to start learning the Python, you heard about it, right? So I am going to make your this journey very easy. So what is pandas? If you know what is pandas, just let me know and drop a comment. What is pandas? Do you know what is pandas? Okay. So if you already know, drop a comment. Okay. So this is a Python, right? So you learned a lot of things under the Python: data types, data structures, functions, and loops, classes, right? So this is the way how you start, right? But when you are done with this one, your second step is learn the libraries. Python libraries. So Panda is the one of the Python library actually. Okay. This is Python actually. Some students are confused between, they don't know what is pandas actually when they are transitioning into AI, especially for the students who are from non-technical background. They don't have a clear vision. What is this? They thought this is a Python. This is I am going to learn the library. You are going to learn the library, but this is the part of Python actually. You can say it, this is an intermediate level Python. And second most important thing, student like got confused in this, like if I am learning the pandas, I'm still learning the Python. I did not start actually machine learning. This is wrong. You have already started because pandas is used for data visualization, for the data analysis. This is we teach, like you have to learn it so you can understand this one. This is the foundation. This is the advanced level actually, intermediate level. Okay. So now I will give you the very good example. Look at this. So this is your data set, right? Let's say this is the customer churn data set. So this is the income of the customer and this is the education, right? So let's say 200K, 300K, 400K dollar, right? PhD, bachelor degree, and masters, right? And customer will churn or not, it decide on that, right? So now when you have this data, right, you will learn this to build your base actually. The data structures, the data types, functions, loops, and classes, you are going to learn it here. You are going to like use these basic structures along with the pandas actually. Pandas itself has a many libraries actually, sorry, methods. Okay, but now when you want to do the analysis of this thing, you need this library actually. Okay, so you need pandas for this one. How you will, if I ask you, can you filter this one based on the like the PhD, can you filter out the data? How many customers have the education like the PhD, who have done the PhD? How would you filter out this data? If you don't know about the pandas here, you then you are going to apply these methods, which is a very time consuming. You can do it using this one too, but you need some custom methods for that. To avoid those things, you have an advanced version of the library of the Python, that is pandas. So that is called the actually data manipulation. If you are like, let's say, because when you have the data, you have the data in this form: Excel, JSON, XML, maybe HTML too, right? So you have the data in this format. Maybe you are fetching it from the, you might have the data in the text format too. So first you need to convert this data in Python into the data frame in the tabular form. Like this, I have made it here, which contains the rows and columns. So you can do the analysis it like from the scratch. So you can understand it. You can visual it very in a clear way. That's why you need pandas actually. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you now. Along with this, we have other libraries too, NumPy, right? But we are going to discuss today only pandas. Now, if I'm asking you, can you filter out the data whose income is greater than this one, right? Can you add a one more like the data into this with the one row whose income is 500K? He has done the PhD and he is not going to churn. So how would you add this data into your existing data? This is called actually data manipulation. Maybe you want to delete the data whose income is less than 200K. This is also the like the data manipulation. So these are all methods you are going to perform using pandas. That's why you need pandas to read your data, to convert it into a tabular form, so you can apply the all data manipulation method or pre-processing method, which is important for your data analysis part, for your machine learning journey. That's why you are using this pandas. If you are at a beginner level, don't worry. If you are learning the pandas, you are still thinking, oh, I am still at a Python. No, you have already taken the like the step towards your machine learning journey. Okay, so you are going to get dirty your hands with the machine learning now. Okay, so this is a part many students confuse at this point. I understand. I have many students who don't know what is pandas, and they just start learning with this. They keep on asking me question, Nija, I'm still learning the pandas, right? What will happen in that case? So I need to explain them at those like the level. Okay, so this should be very clear to you when you are starting with the pandas and numpy. This means you have taken the your initial step towards your machine learning journey. Okay, this is the foundational actually, this one. Okay, this is the part of data analysis. Okay, now if you want to delete row, you want to insert data, you want to extract data, then you use pandas. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. Now let's move on to the practical example. Then it will make more sense to you. So let me stop sharing this one and share me my practical file. So here we go. Okay. So you are going to just stay with me only 10 to 15 minutes. You are going to learn the basics of pandas, which methods you are going to use most often at initial level. So look at this now. First, you need to import pandas as PD. Panda is the library. Whenever you see import keyword, this means you are importing the library in the Python. Just understand it. Import keyword is only for the library. And if you use the from keyword, that is package of the Python. That is not library. Okay. And what is PD? This is the instance. It doesn't mean you need to use the PD keyword always. You can make it PD1, PD2 too. But we always use prefer PD because this looks professional, and professionally even in the interview they are going to ask the question using this term. What is PD? Okay, so this is very important. And the second thing, if although by default your Panda is already installed on your Google Colab, I'm using the Google Colab. If you are using the Jupyter Notebook, it is also by default there. In in case it is not there, in that case you can use this command, pip install pandas. Okay, when you run it, it will install the pandas library onto your system. Okay, so we will run this now. The point which I am going to share now, this is the most confusing point at a beginner level for the students actually. What the student does at this stage, now they start learning the pandas, their focus is on how to load the data, how to check missing value, duplicates, that's it. They don't try to understand the difference between data frame and series, which is the most important component of your pandas library actually. Other, if you don't understand at a beginner level, at initial level, it is going to bother you a lot at a later on. Sometime many methods and the functions cannot be applied directly onto the your data frame, or maybe on the series too. Sometimes you need to convert the data into series, or sometimes you need to convert the data series into array, and then maybe into the data frame. And students most often get this error. Your data cannot convert into array, your data is in the series form, we cannot apply this method. So these are the most common errors you are going to get actually. And it bothers a lot at a beginner level. That's why just look at it carefully. What is series actually? Okay. So what is the difference between series and data frame? So I will make a heading it here actually, so you can have the clear vision. Look at this. Series. Whenever during the interview too, they are asking you what is series in the pandas or data frame. It is a one-dimensional array. It is not a data frame. Okay, it is a one-dimensional array. One-dimensional, what does it mean? Look at this. So this is, we are saying PD dot series. I am passing the list here, right? You understand the square with the brackets. This is a list which contains the three, your integer value name is equals to sample series. So I am creating the series, but by default your data can also be in the form of series. Okay, if you have already done the Python, you can check using the type method what is the type of your data. It will tell you it is series or what, array. Okay, now look at this. So this is a series. This contain only one column and we call it one dimensional data. Okay, if I show you, this is one dimensional. Okay, and one dimensional data is always in the form of series array. It can never be data frame. It is not in the tabular form. Okay, and many methods you cannot apply on that. Okay, so try to understand, this is the major difference between series and data frame. At initial level, understand it, otherwise it will bother you a lot later on. Okay, and now we will move ahead. Let me clear my all drawings here. Okay, so data frame is two-dimensional, okay, because it contains your columns and features. Okay, look at this. It contains this one. Look at this, name, age, city. It contains more than one column. This is called data frame. Okay, and this is not your array. This is not in the vector form. This is not one dimensional. This is more than one dimensional. It contains the label too. Here, there was a no label, right? We are just naming the series, only the series, right? Sample series. but this does not contain the labels. You can see there is a no name. What is it? 10, 20, 30. I did not give any name to it. It's just values. But here in the data frame, we are creating the dictionary first with the name, age, city. And we are passing the list of name, we are passing the list of age and list of cities. And this is called data frame. Now, I hope it is making sense to you. What is the difference between series and your data frame? Data frame is always in the tabular form and series is one dimensional. It is also called one dimensional. Your array 2. Okay. And now here, look at this. So these are the basic difference. How to import the pandas, what is the series and data frame. Okay. Now we will talk about these methods. These are the very common methods. I told you your data can be in the form of text. It can be in the form of your CSV format. It can be XML, JSON, HTML, and it can be in the form of your XLS2. So Panda is making your life very easy during the journey of your AI because it can read this data directly. You don't need any conversion. It will simply convert your data automatically by using this single command pd.read underscore CSV. If your data is in the form of CSV file, if your data is in the form of XLS file, then you can use the read underscore XL. If it is in the form of JSON, you can read it using read underscore JSON. You don't need to make any custom method. That's why you are using pandas actually. This is the biggest reason. Otherwise, you need to just think about it. You need to make a lot of custom functions. But pandas library from the Python is giving you the inbuilt method. So if you have the data in the form of CSV format, you can simply say pd.read underscore CSV and just loading it. I have uploaded the dummy data here. So this is the data. This is a tabular form. Now what is this? Drop a comment. This is a data frame, right? Which we have created here. This is I am just uploading the data which available from my stakeholder, right? So this is your duty now. Why? Now you can connect it with your data analysis journey. If you are collecting the data from different servers, you are doing the web scraping, you are collecting the data in the form of JSON format, you can easily read using the pandas, right? And you can also combine it. How you can combine the multiple data frames, I will tell you now. And we will slowly move on to the basics to intermediate and then advanced. But today our goal is to just learn the basics today, okay? So this is the data frame. Now in the pandas, this is called the number of features as well. In data analysis language, we call it features. We call it columns in the form of your normal Excel, right? And these all are your records. Okay, so this is the way how you can load or read the data. If someone is saying you how to read the data using pandas, how to load the data using pandas, this is one and the same thing. Okay, so don't memorize the thing like a model. Try to understand the concept because we don't want the overfitted model, right? We want the good perfect model. Okay, so this is the like your records. Now how you can do the basic data exploration? Very easy. df.head. This is your best friend actually. This is going to show you the top 5 your we can say you can say the records. Okay. Here I have already added the only 3 records. I'm using this data frame, not this one. But if you want to look for the first like the 5 rows of this one too, we can. So we will write down here this one dot head. Look at this. It will show you the first 5 records by default. But if you want to look for the more records, you want to look for top 20, you can do that. You have the facility. This is the first, very first step. If during the interview they're asking you the question how you can explore the data set, top 5 rows, your answer should be very straightforward. I will use a dot head method. And mind it, whenever someone name is coming with the round brackets, these all are methods. Excuse me. So this is all our methods. Okay. Sorry about it. And now Here we are just the data which we have created. It has only 3 records, so it is showing this one. Now, if you are interested to look for the detailed information about your data set, so then you can use the info method. It will tell you the total number of records. It will tell you the here the data type of each your column, and it will show you the missing value too, because it is showing the non-null. There is a no missing value. If you are interested to look for the this one too, you can. Okay, instead of head, you can use here info. I'm giving you the real-time data set example too and dummy too. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, it will look like this. So in interview, if they are asking you how you can look at the in a detailed information about your data set in a using one method, which method is that? So your answer should be what? Info method. Okay, so that should be your answer. So this is the very basic like the things. Now, if you are interested to look for the statistics of your data, you want to understand like total number of records, it's how many unique value it has. Now, here there is a one important I will tell you. Just let me create this one. If I am only doing describe, look the difference. So it is only picking up the numerical data, right? It is showing me this one mean, maximum value, standard deviation, minimum, standard. If you want to understand mean, maximum interquartile range, 25, 50, 75%, you can watch my statistics playlist, okay? But I will tell you in the short, this will show you the statistics of the feature. Like how far your data points are distributed and what is the mean value, average value of your age column. So average age is value common, it is showing 29.5. Okay, because your maximum age it is showing here 30. So sorry, 35. So average age is 28, it is considering 29 year 5 months. Okay, and this is standard deviation distribution of the data. Minimum value 25, because here the minimum age is 25, maximum is 35. Look at this. Okay, and 75 percentile, 50%, 25. So this like it is dividing. That's why I took the small data set. This is a sample data set, so I can make you understand about it. Okay, how this mean, minimum value, maximum value is showing. We can just take the here, so you can compare it. Look at this. So the average is 29.5. Standard deviation 4. It is not showing here. This is just another thing. Minimum value 25. Maximum is 35. So it is showing this. So 75 percentile it is showing. It is on the calculation base actually. These three values and this value and this value. This is it is doing calculation itself. So it is telling you the very good things. And if your maximum value is very far away from the mean, it will also give you the idea about the outliers too. Describe method, this question definitely come in the interview too. This is the most common thing. But now, did you notice if I'm using only the describe method, it is only picking up the numerical column, right? It is not showing you the statistics of the other columns. It is showing the country column because I have added like the further. Don't try don't worry about it. I will tell you from where the country column come up. Okay. So now look at this. If you are using the include is equals to all parameter, it will include your categorical feature too. It is not going to show you the standard minimum and these values because it is a categorical. But it will show you the top, alias, this one and unique value. So it is giving you this much statistics. That's why we rare use include is equals to all, because categorical statistics doesn't make a sense here. But if you are interested to look for the unique, how many unique values you category you have in the categorical data, then you can use. But you can use a value underscore count too. Okay, this is a choice is your. Okay, but my goal is to tell you each and everything, the basics. Okay, now we will move ahead. If you want to check the shape of the data frame, this means previously you are just checking the exploring the data. Now, if you want to look for only for the number of columns and the records, then you can use the shape method. This is 3 by 3, right? This means 3 by 3 matrix, or 3 by 3 your data frame. 3 rows, 3 columns. Okay. Check the name of the columns. This is very common actually. Okay. So this is very easy. If you are going to now use a simple, if you are not using pandas library, then you need to make a custom function, right? Either you will use the for loops to check the like your names in the column, and then you will print. But here pandas is making your life easy. You only need to say df dot columns. That's it. You can check the columns name. Okay. If you want to try with the big data too, which we are using, you can also do that. See, so easy. If interviewer is asking you how you check the name of the columns, you will say, I will use the dot column method. That's it. Okay. Difference between loc and iloc. This is the most common interview question. Again, I will say, try to understand the difference. Students often get confused in this actually. Okay. So I have prepared a very good example for you so you don't get confused. Okay. I am picking up the small data set. Look at this. I said df dot loc means location. Okay. iloc means index location. Loc, iloc. The first difference between loc and iloc is loc work may fetch the data from your data frame based on the label name. Okay. But iloc fetch the data based on the index location of the label. Okay, it is not look for the name, it look for the index location of the label. This is the major difference. Okay, and look at this. If I did a df.loci1, it is showing me this output, right? So where is your data? We can print it here again. Okay. We can say here df dot. Just ignore the country column for time being. Okay. Now look at this. If I did df.loc1, so it is showing me Bob 30 and Toronto. Okay. So, okay, I will do one thing here, this one. Okay. So it is showing now country too. So it is picking up the data based on the now not index location. This is the label name actually. Why? I will tell you here one thing actually. Student also get confused in this. Whenever in your data set, it is by default showing you the index column. This means this is the label of the index. Okay. This is the label name of the index. So that's why it is showing you. If I have used the one, this is not index position. This is the label name of your first index position, one. Okay, so here it can be A as well here. I have prepared example for you, but try to understand the difference. If I'm saying df.loc1, it is the name of the index position, 1. This is not position. This is the name, label of the position. Okay, so that's why it is showing you the first row records in the form of series, vector, right? One dimensional. If I do df.iloc2, now it is picking up the your this one. You might say Nirja, this is the 2 and this is also 2, so it will show you this record. If you will do the 2 here, right, you will do the 2 here, it will show the same records, but there is a difference at the actually mechanism, the background process. Okay, so I will make you understand now. Only first fit in your mind, look, df.loc means location, name of the location. iloc means index of the location, not name of the location. Now look at this. If I am picking up, I am changing my index position to A, B, C now. Okay. Okay. So it is saying it contains this much elements because we are doing this. So we will add D here too. Okay. Okay, so now look at this. When I did I have renamed my like, okay, first I will show you this one. Okay, so we will do here df dot. Now look at this. Now I have changed my index name to ABCD instead of this one, like your numbers. Okay, so I change it so I can make you understand the difference actually. So this is the one. Now if I do here, look at this one. I'm using now df.log2. See, it is throwing this error, key error 2. Why? Because there is a no name of 2 in your index location, right? Earlier I told you lock method work based on the name or label of the location. There is a no name with the 2. Earlier it contained the name with the 2. That's why this is not index number. This is the name of the index actually. Okay, but now if you use the same df.iloc, it will give you this output. C. Does it make sense to you now? Because this is 2 is the index value, index of the location 2. C. Where is this? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Does it make sense now? So for this, if you want to check the position of this one, you need to name it with the actually C. Okay, then only it will give you the location, this one. This is the reason. Okay, so 012 is the name of the location. It is not index numbers. That's why it is showing here. But behind it again, because we are naming the index column with the numbers actually, not with the ABCD. That's why sometimes student got confused in this. So try to understand this. It is a very common error student got. If you still have a confusion, you can drop a comment. I hope it makes sense to you. I have tried to give you the very good example. Okay. Now, if you want to filter the rows with the condition, very easy. If you are using the simple loops or your comparison operator, arithmetic operator, right? You have done less than equal to greater than equal to something like that in your Python normal fundamentals. But in Pandas, it is very easy. Now, here student also get confused. When you are filtering the rows with the condition, you always need df, square bracket again df with age greater than 28. So if you want to extract the data, filter the data whose age is greater than 28, only those students it should show. So it is showing this one. But student oftenly does this mistake. They try to do it like this way. So this will happen in that scenario. If you want to see the results, it will give you the result. I'm not saying it is through the error, but it will give you in the binary form, like B or C contains the age greater than 28. But if you are interested to look for the value, you need to use the double brackets actually. So what it will do, it will first pick up the data frame, loop over it, extract it, and then filter out the specific value. Okay, so you need to take care about these double brackets. This is very common error student got. Okay, so they do, oh, I'm adding the condition, even it is not showing the value. Why it is showing this result? So student got confused. Don't get confused in this. So this way you can, Panda is helping you to, you can directly apply the filter conditions with the conditions, apply the filtration using Pandas. Okay, and the next is you can sort it. Very easy. Df dot underscore sort. By default, it is a sorting in the ascending form. Minimum, maximum, then goes to the maximum. If you want to, by default, it is in the ascending order. But if you want in the descending order, then you can say df dot sort underscore index. Ascending is equals to false. So it will work on this ways. Okay. So it is actually sorting it based on index. Okay, but if you want to sort it based on the values, you can also do that. You need to give the actually value here. like we give the above. Like based on the age, if you want to sort it, you can do like this. Okay. And if you want to like add the parameter, if you do this here, we have the parameter ascending. So you can pass this parameter here. I think I'm doing the spelling mistake. Ascending is equals to false. Okay. So you can do this. So it will do like this. Okay. So if you want to sort it based on the index, I have already showed you, you can also do that. By default, it is in the ascending. So this is the most common methods you are going to use every time, most oftenly. This is without these methods, we can't work in the data analysis. Okay. Adding a column. Panda is going very easy. If you are using this, how would you add the new data in the list? You create a new list. Either you use the append method. If you want to add the several value, you use the for loop, or either maybe you will create the one list into the another list. This is you do, right? But in the pandas, it is easy. You will create the new like the column. And if you want to add these one, that's why it was adding actually above. That's why I was saying you just wait for it. Okay. So you can add this one. Okay. So it will show you that this output. It is already there. That's why it is giving you the error. So what we can do, we can add a new column here. Let's say grade. Okay. So we can say grade 1. No, we can say grade 12, grade 11, and then grade 12 again. Okay. Okay. So we have a 4 values actually. See, you can add very easily. You only need to pass the column name and then list of the values. That's it. So it will add a new column in this. This is very easy. And this is the most common interview questions. Okay. And dropping a column, very easy. If you want to drop now country, you will say df dot drop country comma x is equal to 1. Actually, drop method by default contains the x is equals to 0. This means the row. But we want to drop the column, so you need to mention this parameter x is equal to 1. So we can uncomment it like this, and we will drop the country column. Now this is your new data set. Okay. If you want to add, now we can check it here again now. Okay. See, you will say, Nirja, you have recently dropped. Why it is coming again? Because we did not make a permanent change actually, right? We are creating a new data frame here, df underscore dropped. Okay. If you want to make a permanent change, then you will say equal to df only. Then only it will contain this one. Okay. So you will, instead of df drop, you need to do something like this. Okay. But I want to preserve it. I just wanted to show you this is the column. That's why I did that. So I want to preserve it to show you the further calculation actually. And then adding a row. You know how to add the column now, but how would you add the row? You will say new row pd dot data frame. This is the row. So you will look at this. I am using the double your brackets here. Okay. And then columns is equal to df dot columns. So mind it, whenever you want to add a new row, you need to create in the data frame the one row with the double brackets. Okay, columns is equal to df dot columns, and then we will pd dot concat. Now we will concat your existing data frame with the new row, because this is also the data frame. You cannot add the new row straightforward. You need to create a new data frame with the rows you want to create. Okay. And then ignore index is equals to true. Look at this. Now 5 columns past data, we need to add actually grade value too. So we have 11. Okay. Here we go. Now this is new added. So we can add it some other name here. Uh, okay, it will add more. We will not do that. We have added actually duplicate here. Okay, it's okay. So it has added this one. Okay, because I ran it 2 times actually. So what is the difference between adding column and rows? In column, it is easy to add. You just declare the column name and you just pass the value of the list of the values to it. That's it. But here you need to, if you want to add the row, you need to create a new data frame with the row. And don't forget to add these double brackets. Okay. You can try what kind of the error it is throwing to you if you're not using the double brackets. This is the very common and small mistake student does actually. Okay. So a column is equals to df dot columns because you need to pass this parameter so it can map over that how many columns you have. And then concat function df dot row with the square bracket ignore index means it is ignoring this index and it will create this one. Okay. Now I will tell you why this is important when you are concatenating the new data frame with the existing one to add a new record. I will tell you the importance of ignore underscore index. Okay. Why I am using this. Now look at this. If you ignore this one, okay, what will happen in that case? Look at this. So we have a two data frame. This one, name Alice, age this and this. We are creating the dictionary actually. Okay. And then index is equals to 0, index is equals to 0. Did you notice I am passing the same index? Now you will say, Nija, how this is possible? It is possible. Look at this. We will concat. I did not say anything here. I did not pass ignore underscore index is equal to true. Okay. So I'm not passing that parameter. Here we were passing actually. Okay. So now look at the result. See, 0, 0. Now, if you are passing during the concatenation, even I have said here index is equals to 0, index is equals to 0. But when I am concatenating both and I am using ignore it is equals to this, so it is automatically creating the different index for each value. Because I said ignore underscore index is equal to true. So this means when you are adding the new rows into the data set, and you are not mentioning ignore underscore index is equal to true, it might contain the same index value. Okay, you can do the more experiment here with this one too. Okay, if you want, we can do that. I have already shown you the example, but we can try with one more example here. So look at this. So we will say here, Ane 9 Edmonton, Canada, right? So 11, this one, and we will ignore this. Just ignore this one. See, it is adding with the 0 again. So you got a common index, right? So if I am going to add 3 more rows, it will say 4 times 0. This is the common mistake student does. Okay, so this is that's why I wanted to highlight this. So don't do this mistake. Okay. And now you understood very well why ignore underscore index is equals to true is very important. Okay. Now if you want to remove a row, it's very easy. You will say just df dot drop index is equals to 3. You need to mention the index position. Okay. And then I told you you don't need to mention axis here because by default it is dropping the row. Axis equals to 0. That's it. So it will drop the index is equal to 3, this value. Okay. And then if you want to renaming the column, this is very easy and it's an interview question too. df dot rename columns. You can rename the multiple columns at a time. You can rename the one column at a time. This is your choice. We are renaming multiple column. I want to rename the name column with the full name, age with the age underscore years. And we are using the here curl brackets because you are using the key name and value. This is the dictionary. Did you understand now why it is important to learn the fundamentals now? Why do you need to learn the first data structure? Start from the basics and then jump on to the pandas because you are using those methods here. This is a combination. They are connected with each other. Okay. So now you can see it is changed from name to full name and age years. Okay. So this was the all about the basics of the pandas. And you can see this is the small things, but what kind of the errors students can get. Like I have cleared you all the fundamentals today. Definitely I will try to make an in a upcoming like the weeks to make a video on the intermediate pandas and advanced pandas too. So now you can continue your journey with the machine learning with me and data analysis. I have already uploaded a lot of videos. So keep learning, keep patience with science, data science. Happy data science. If you have any question, feel free to drop a comment. Okay. Thank you. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit a subscribe button, hit a bell icon button, and definitely like button if you really like the video. Thank you.